I love playing many different roles in games, from the tank to the damage dealer to the farmer that is just taking time to tend to his crops. But more than anything, I love playing the healer. There's something about focusing on taking care of the team while they deal the damage that appeals to me. It may be a savior complex, but I don't think so, at least. I think the real answer lies into when I was playing with my friends, a lot of the times I would take up this role. That way they could play the damage and the tank kind of characters. Which, by the way, is totally fine because, damage characters have their own set of challenges that I don't know if I would enjoy as much. Whatever the reason for me starting to play healers, I fell in love with the role, and for that reason, have played almost every healer in Heroes of the Storm. Well, almost every healer. I've played Lili, Rhaegar, Ariel, Malfurion, Lucio, Brightwing, Stukov, Anduin, Deckard the Cain. Heck, I've even played Tyrande. I've played every single healer except Whitemane. I know. But as of 2 weeks ago, I fixed this. I did a whole live stream where I played with my friend Gretchen, and I learned to play this one healer that I've yet to play. If you want to join us for a live stream, keep your eyes open for live streams that will be happening on most Saturdays from 6 to 9. Right now we're playing through a game called Stardew Valley, and I'm playing through the modded expanded edition. So if you want to join us for that, feel free. We also are probably going to do some different Heroes of the Storm live streams and so on and so forth. That being said, I now think I know why I put off playing Whitemane for so long. Whitemane is a character from World of Warcraft, not Diablo, like I originally had thought.
I'll just be plain Jane. Or plain Zarya.
Plain Jane Zarya. I was also wrong. I thought Whitemane was a Diablo character, but that is not true. She was a priestess of the light and the High Inquisitor of the Scarlet Crusade, according to Wowpedia. See, I don't actually know about the character in WoW, but in Heroes, she's a healer class and has a lot of utility, and her first name is Sally? Wow, gonna be honest, I didn't expect Sally to be the name of our High Inquisitor. She apparently has an obsession with purging the world of the undead and all who have been touched by the plague of death. Basically, Aaron meets Jill Valentine. So what could go wrong there? She's a more complex hero within the game, which becomes very evident very quickly with her many different mechanics. But I still learned quite a bit from the experience. Something that isn't terribly complicated though is hitting that subscribe button if you enjoyed this kind of content and want to see more. Also, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, it lets me know that you enjoy the content and want to see more of this kind of content. It's really helpful. There are difficult heroes to play in Heroes of the Storm, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these heroes include the Lost Vikings, Anna, Alexstrasza, Illidan, Abathur, Medivh, the list goes on, but like I said, Whitemane is difficult. That's bad pathing. Ah, no, I'm not gonna die! Her basic abilities are Desperate Plea, Inquisition, Searing Lash, and Zeal. Her two heroics are Scarlet Aegis and Divine Reckoning. First up, Desperate Heal is really complicated. You can use it on a teammate to heal them for 140 health, but you gain Desperation for 4 seconds. Now what does Desperation do? So many terrible things. Basically, for every Desperation, Whitemane's Q ability increases its mana cost by 40. If you can get up to 3 stacks of Desperation, Whitemane's Q ability costs 160 mana.
What? Vala's not having a good day right now. I love that.
You know,
I love that
that's
so
great
much.
for her. I'm glad she's not having a good day. To be honest with you, because
I'm so glad she's having a terrible day, you know? Uh-oh.
This means you can't just throw out your abilities just willy-nilly. You have to play a little conservative, especially in the early game, so you don't burn through your mana. What Desperate Plea also does is give the target hero Zeal, which lasts for 8 seconds. Now what does Zeal do, you ask? Great question. Zeal heals heroes for 100% of the damage that Whitemane deals. 100%. This can then be increased by talents, but we'll get to that in a little later. Speaking of damaging your enemies, Whitemane's W ability is called Inquisition. This ability is channeled on an enemy hero for 3 seconds and deals 50 damage every half second, while also slowing them by 30%. It also removes a stack of desperation, which is really nice, and the ability on the 1 key is directly tied to Inquisition. It's called Clemency. It works a lot like Inquisition, except you use it on an ally hero and it heals them over 3 seconds. Whitemane's E ability is called Searing Lash. This ability smites enemies in a line for 82 damage, and if it hits a hero, it smites in the perpendicular line for a second time. And then finally are Whitemane's 2 heroic abilities. The first is called Scarlet Aegis, and when activated, it gives nearby allies 300 health and 40 armor for 4 seconds. Her other heroic is called Divine Reckoning, and after 1 second, you concentrate on an area for 4 seconds, dealing 50 damage every half second. 25% of the damage dealt is returned then as mana. There's a lot of techno mumbo jumbo, but what does this all mean? Basically, the whole kit of this character revolves around passing around Zeal and doing a bunch of damage to heal your allies. This is a unique playstyle, especially one that focuses on dealing damage to heal. Ariel works in a similar fashion, but she usually relies on damage of other heroes to give her energy that then heals. This to say that I don't mind this playstyle, but I wasn't in love with how Whitemane works. At least, it didn't feel like it fit my playstyle entirely. Before we get too far into my personal beliefs though, let's talk about a really important aspect of this: the talents. There were a couple of different builds that I tried, but the main one I tried was by a YouTuber named MF Palatine, who's an incredible Heroes of the Storm player and has some really engaging videos that helped me prepare for this stream a lot. Definitely check out his channel, because honestly, he does an incredible job of explaining the heroes that he's playing.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, or 3?
Let's go 2. 2 sounds nice.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Now you're making me regret my decisions. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the build that I went for up on the screen now, and basically this build focuses on capitalizing on Zeal as much as possible. Let me see how fast I can rattle this off without it being confusing. PD the Fair lowers the cooldown of Inquisition based on the hero's hit with Searing Lash and gets 25% healing to heroes with 30% or less max health. Martyrdom increases Desperate Please healing by 30% plus 10% for a hero with 0 Zeal. Spirit gives Whitemane Zeal after 2 stacks of Desperation. You already know what Divine Reckoning does. Lashing Out reduces Searing Lash's cooldown. Harsh Discipline makes Searing Lash a root Inquisition targets Judgment Day. Makes Divine Reckoning do 50% more damage and pull enemies into the center of the area of effect. And that's the build! You have no idea how many attempts it took me to do that, and it still wasn't fantastic.
You're like a work of art. Love when you leave your mark. I'm undone. You're my initial spark. Please come and break my heart. I won't run. I get lost beside you.
This talent build was pretty effective from my experience, and probably would have been even more effective in the hands of someone who has actually played a lot of Whitemane. It's challenging to time when and where the right moment to spread Zeal is, do damage to heal, and then also manage your mana pool so you can continue to heal in a team fight where your team really needs it. All that to say, I have been struggling, y'all. There were some other talents that seemed useful depending on the circumstance. One of these, for example, was Intercession at level 7. This talent gives you the ability to make a target unstoppable for 1 second. It becomes an activatable ability on your second key. Could be a really useful talent, but I stayed away because I am not super great at timing these kinds of cleanses. I'm really bad at it, actually. When it comes to heroics, really I could go either way. Both have their pros and cons, and each have their own place. Though I wonder if maybe going double healer with Whitemane, going Divine Reckoning would be interesting. I don't know, I might have to try that. Maybe really dumb. Good point, Henry. Another popular build on Icy Veins is this one that I'm going to throw up on the screen now. It's a lot of the same talents, except they take Intercession and Unwavering Faith at 4 and 7. The build focuses on Searing Lash rather than your Inquisition, and it looks like a phenomenal build to try out on a Whitemane, but I didn't get to practice much with Scarlet Aegis. Looks like a good heroic that's worth implementing into your build. I hadn't tried it out that much. I'd also say that another build that Icy Veins talked about was using the Inquisition talents rather than the Searing Lash talents in order to do more damage, which I think could be really good too. I would have liked to try that out as well.
Like the bread boy was gonna be in Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
The Bread Boy?
Yeah, the main guy in the movie. What do you?
I don't think I know this
understand
movie.
The confusion.
I don't know if I know this movie.
The Hunger Games?
Whitemane definitely wasn't my favorite healer to play, but she wasn't bad either. She definitely didn't fit my playstyle though, like at all. Her need to do damage in order to be effective with her healing proved a bit challenging for me, and I had trouble trying to keep myself from running in thinking, oh, I had more damage, and actually, oh, surprise, no I don't, because I just died. Again, not a problem with the character, more of a user error if I'm honest, but it just wasn't fitting my playstyle per se. Okay, that felt good. Her healing, though, is pretty optimal. I felt like for the most part I could keep my allies healed up and even save them from getting sniped. Plus, when my damage is constantly healing my teammates who have zeal, it is a nice feeling that healing is happening when I am doing damage and not having to focus super heavy on doing damage. The desperation, though, bruh, it's so annoying. The mechanic makes sense, and honestly, it's such a cool mechanic, but I had so much trouble maintaining my mana. Whitemane is like a glass cannon of healing. She can do a ton of burst healing really quickly, but then your mana is all gone, and you either have to refill at a sippy cup or recall all the way back to your base. I'm sure if I played her more, I might get a bit more control over my mana pool, but with her kit, the way that it is, there is no getting around her massive mana drain. It just is. Her survivability is another aspect we should talk about, and should I say, maybe the lack thereof. She doesn't have a whole lot of escape options until later in the game if you get Harsh Discipline at level 16. Even though you have to be using Inquisition on a target and then hit them with Searing Lash, which is honestly just not a good escape method, this means when playing Whitemane, I've found that positioning is key to playing her successfully, which after many years of playing is something I am still lacking at. I'm not very good at good positioning. The beauty of this character is that she has a lot of utility though. Her healing is unique. She offers different crowd control options as well as some quite effective peeling tools with her Inquisition build. Placed within the right team composition, Whitemane is a force to be reckoned with. Divinely even. I'm sorry, the joke was right there. It was right. I just had to. It was right there. Nonetheless, Whitemane is a difficult character to play. If mastered, I think she has the potential of being an extremely powerful healer and member of a team composition. And honestly, it also would be super helpful to take Intercession to level 7, as that Unstoppable can be huge, and I wish I'd have taken that talent more. Honestly, I had a lot of fun with this character. She definitely doesn't fit my normal playstyle, but I do enjoy the challenge of balancing my damage and my healing. Whitemane is challenging and has a lot of really useful abilities and functions that I really want to utilize. So I guess, that being said, I will probably be playing more of her. Just so we're clear, it's not because I enjoy it, but because I see the potential of me enjoying it. I guess sometimes we find along the way that something we were sure we were going to dislike actually turned out to be okay in the end. I had been putting her off for so long because she was so complicated, and probably also because I didn't trust my own abilities to play her well. Yet, I think that's the beauty, isn't it? I went for it and I learned a lot. I definitely wasn't perfect, and it was difficult, but in the end, I became a better HOTS player because of it. I really need to go outside more, don't I? Henry, that was a rhetorical question.